All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have a good crowd for today. I'm Eric Green, and what we're going to be covering in the next hour is sort of an overview of basically what you should be thinking of in terms of automating your practice. I hope all of you got the link to download the free automation guide. If not, we have that code for you also in the program. But this we put together. We get at least a tax rep network. We get so bombarded with questions. Well, how do you guys deal with this, or how did you automate that? That we ended up deciding to put together a guide on basically the resources that you have that you should be considering, and this is the time to do it. I mean, in terms of time of year, we're not going to do this in the middle of tax season, and we all know you're not doing it at the holidays. The time to implement is now. So the timing on this, I think, couldn't be better. And so with that, I see people are still streaming in. All right. But with that said, what we're going to be covering today, all right, is why you just can't wait to do this, that now is the time, right? And I will tell you, this whole idea was prompted by a podcast episode I did with Joe Woodard, I think 3 years ago now. And we were talking about this and the hangups that people had and why it was sort of urgent then for people in terms of whether it's getting their life back, making their practice more scalable, making it, by the way, more valuable to sell. All of the things and all of the resources that are available. So we're then going to go into the business case for automation and AI-enabled solutions. All right. So if you're wondering, like, how do I justify this? We're gonna check that box for you today. The 6 steps for successful automation and the power of community, pulling the automation into action or putting it into action. And we're going to go through with our experts about each of the different solutions and how you implement that, and then pull the whole thing together and your next steps once you get off this webinar today. So now, with that as sort of our roadmap, I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. I'm Eric Green. That's what I look like when I'm all dressed up. I'm the founder of Tax Rep Network. I'm a practicing tax attorney in lovely New Haven, Connecticut. I'm not going to bother with my bio. It's really rather boring, but that's who I am. Chris here.
Thank you, Eric. I'm Chris Farrell, and thanks for everybody for having me here. A little bit about me. I'm in San Francisco, California. I started my career here with Arthur Andersen way back when in 1993. I'm a CPA. I spent about 12 years on the public accounting side as well as in industry, and the last about 18 years developing software for accountants. So really excited to listen and learn today as well.
Chris, thank you. Heather?
Thanks so much. I'm Heather Satterly, and I'm also a CPA, and I am also the Director of Education and Media over at Woodard, and I'm the co-host of the Happy Hour with Liz and Heather. So I've been automating throughout my entire career. So really excited to be here today, and thanks for having me.
And Jesse?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My name is Jesse Branson. I head up the key account management team here at Ignition. So my team helps customers onboard and engage their clients so that they can get paid on time for the work that we're doing. I've been working for Ignition now, based here in Denver for about 3 years. Prior to that, I worked for Zero Cloud Accounting for a number of years.
No, Jesse, thank you. Nick?
Hello, everyone. I'm Nick Chandy, CEO and co-founder of Forwardly. We are an accounts payable, accounts receivable system that helps thousands of businesses to get paid automatically. Every week, every month, based on the schedule you have, we help you pay your suppliers through our automated approvals and workflows and streamlining the cash flow of these businesses. So,
all right, Nick, thank you. Chad?
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Chad Helmlinger. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at SmartVault, where we help tax and accounting firms like securely manage and share their documents I'm also representing SmartPath that you can see there on my slide, and that's our intelligent platform for pricing services for your clients in seconds and sending proposals, onboarding clients, and getting paid as fast as you can, right? I've been at SmartVault for 2 years now, and I am based in Austin, Texas, and I'm just happy to be here with all the partners and looking forward to our webinar.
Thank you. And Brian?
Thank you. Yeah, hi, I'm Brian Unger. I'm a senior technical specialist here at GruntWorx. I'm in the mountains of Western North Carolina. I've been involved as a sales resource here for about 8 years now. Basically, my job has been just educating our customers as well as potential customers alike on the benefits of automation, speeding up their workflow process, making sure the onboarding helps everybody feel comfortable with a nice new workflow to help them out.
Great. All right, so I just wanted to launch the first poll. What brought you here today? Okay. So, did you want to learn about automation, specific software questions that you had, or are you looking for advice on implementation? Okay. I'll leave this open for about 30 seconds. All right, and I think Clemens can deal with the 2 questions in the Q&A. So, all right. Everyone do the poll. Give you 10 more seconds. That's what we need to do. We need to get the music to Jeopardy and play that. We probably have to have a licensing fee. Anyway, all right. So, just so you know, 86% of you want to learn more about automation. About 2% are here about specific software to get questions answered, and 13% are looking for advice on implementation. Well, you're all here. You're all in the right place. We have basically, as I said, for those of you who didn't miss maybe some of my opening comments, we've pulled together the folks that are here because these are the solutions that we and my tax rep community look to in terms of automating the practice. And so I just wanted to make a comment on why this really is no longer an option. Now, like everybody else, I didn't really get into the details, but I also was an accountant, spent time in public accounting at KPMG and Deloitte, as well as a regional firm that is now part of CBiz 28 years later. But I know the way that we used to do it. And the only way to create leverage and make the practice profitable was this kind of pyramid model, right? Where you had, the equity partners up at the top who were bringing in clients, and you had this army of people underneath, staff and senior associates who would get the work done. The world has changed. First of all, finding those people is near impossible, okay? The other thing is it's just simply not profitable. It is not efficient to be trying to do a lot of this by hand, all right? And so what automation is going to do, first of all, in all honesty, like I can tell you right now, because I use many of these solutions, we close more deals because Ignition automatically follows up. I'm not resending and recopying people's stuff. They can get it in their SmartVault folder. All right, it's there for them. They can go download it whenever they want. There are things that we use now that save us hours and hours and hours of time. Okay. Also, as I said, these things fill in gaps that we, just human beings, would miss. We didn't follow up. We didn't send whatever. So this really helps you comply in a way that we're all just simply too distracted often to do properly. All right. And like everything else, once you've built this machine, it makes scaling this much, much easier, faster, and more profitable. All right. So I'm arguing about all the business reasons, right? Both for getting more deals, being more scalable and profitable, but also just the compliance. But Chris, can you actually give us the business case for this?
Absolutely. So I think the business case, for automation and for doing a lot what we're doing right now, you were seeing really a 3x savings in terms of the ability to draft things using AI today. And from a security perspective, there's a huge business case to be made with regard to the liability and with regard to the security of client data that can all be wrapped into essentially the same buckets. You're going to get efficiency, you're going to get security, and peace of mind all in one.
Absolutely. All right. Quickly, second poll. How would you rate your automation expertise, or how would you rate your automation expertise in your firm? Right? Beginner, intermediate, or master. A lot of people are doing that. I don't know if I ever told Heather this story, but I ended up really kind of discovering all of this because Don Brolin made me. So I went to speak at Scaling New Heights. It was the one that was at Disney. It was pre-COVID, 2017 maybe. And I'm a lawyer. So what do? I go down, I speak, I go back to my room, I do billable hours. That's what lawyers do. And Dawn was fighting with me. You got to come see the exhibit hall. Like, I'm not an accountant. Just blown away by the technology that's available. All right, I'm going to close the poll. 66% report you feel like a beginner, 32% intermediate, and 2% believe they are a master of the automation at their firm. All right, which is good because, again, I think you're going to learn a lot about solutions today. Heather, can you walk through the 6 steps to automation success?
Absolutely. And I think it starts with what you just said and what Don Brolin, who did you an incredible favor, did when you went to Scaling New Heights in Orlando, which is changing your mindset, right? So when we do things the same way and we don't look to change and we don't look for better and new ways to do things, we're really holding ourselves back. So the first step is to really change the way that you think. And think about, our world has changed, and technology has allowed us to automate the things that we're doing in our practice that are redundant, right? So those things like clicking on the keyboard. And so that's not really where we're bringing value to our clients. Where we're bringing value to our clients is through conversations, through support, through advisory. So changing your mindset from I'm the doer, the clicker, to I am the strategic partner is really what we have to do. And that's how you start down that path of automation. The second step is to establish clear goals and vision. You know, automation's cool. When I first started, the mistake that I made was I wanted to automate everything because it was really fun to do it, right? It was really fun to figure out how to not click the keyboard. The problem with that is that unless you have clear goals and a vision for what you're looking to accomplish through automation, you can actually end up spinning plates, and you're not really going to get the benefits out of it. So really what you need to do with the second step is to think about, where are you spending time that is not bringing value to your practice and to your clients? And where are you doing redundant, repetitive tasks that really can be handled by technology? And that's the second step. The third step is to implement strategic change management. This is the hardest part of the 6 steps of automation, is changing people's minds, changing how you do things, both within your firm and with your clients, really helping them to understand the benefits of automation, the benefits of implementing new technology, and then providing guidance and support through that entire process so that you have a better chance for success in your implementation. The next step is tag team automation and human adaptation. So really important to make sure that you keep the human element in there, right? If we automate everything, I remember when I first started automating, I was automating my client onboarding experience, but I didn't keep in mind that the clients were coming to my firm because of me and my team. They wanted to meet us. They wanted to get to know us. They wanted to understand what we're doing. So you really do have to make sure that you are balancing that. And then you're going to select the right automation tool. So this kind of goes back to the second thing, second step, which was having clear goals and a vision in mind. That is going to drive selecting the right automation tools, right? What is the goal that you're looking to achieve in your firm? That first. Second, what is the process that you and the culture of your firm? How do you do things? That's going to help guide you towards the right tools that you should be using. And then finally, you need to measure success. What does success look like? And again, that goes back to step 2, which is the vision and the purpose, right? And then you also want to make sure that you're constantly staying up to date with new features of the technology that you're already using, that you're staying abreast of what's happening within the industry, that you're listening to your team and to your clients about their experience with the technology and the automation so that you can continually improve it. And what's great about this is that we have a huge community of accounting professionals, right, that we work with and we see at conferences, that we see in membership organizations like Woodard, that you can collaborate with. You don't have to do it alone. And we have this amazing guide that's going to help walk you through it as well. So you don't have to do it alone. Make sure that you're leaning on the community as you're going through this process. And now we're going to dip into some of these awesome, amazing technology partners that can help you as you're choosing technology and processes to automate.
Yeah, thanks, Heather. So to start off with here with SmartVault and SmartPath, as we talk about more automation and technology as it advances, right, you really have to look at the vendors, the solutions that are out there, because things change quickly, right? One of those things that's really going to help save you time and reduce human error is things like auto routing that you see here on the slide. Smart Scan, as you're collecting documents from clients and managing document chaos, like we like to call it here at SmartVault, right, that you're managing on a day-to-day basis. These things help to convert images into PDFs quickly and plop them into the right folder for your clients, so they're not going to the wrong John Smith, right, when you have 3 of those clients. And then compliance and security have to be the foundation of everything that all of us, I think, here on this call today talk about. We want to be secure. We want to meet all of the FTC, IRS guidelines and safeguards. We want to be SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, which SmartVault and SmartPath are. And Eric has been great about sharing with us his folder templates that we share with our SmartVault customers, right? That helps with audit trails, et cetera. And then Smart Request AI. We can't go without mentioning AI in any call, any talk and conversation any of us have these days. But Smart Request AI is a new tool that we're launching here in Q4 that's really going to help with client intake and pulling data from 1040s, et cetera, to help with engagement letters, organizers, et cetera. If we move on, like we've talked about this a little bit, Eric and Chris both, and Heather mentioned where automation comes into place. There's really 4 key pillars as we see the world at SmartVault in our industry. You need to have seamless integration. So if you're going to have this wonderfully built tech stack that's mean and lean, right, for your firm, it's got to work together properly. It's got to be seamless. Everyone can say that, but it needs to be robust. And it needs to be able to talk to your tax prep software where those documents are moving back and forth quickly and easily. You need to have bulletproof security, as mentioned already, and it needs to be able to grow with your firm. It needs to be able to scale quickly. You shouldn't be nickeled and dimed every time your firm adds 100 more clients or 50 more clients with having to add more storage or add another plan or package. That's going to make that a bit of a struggle for you to grow in the midst of busy season. And then also you need guided support. You need that community. You need a support team. And at SmartVault, if I do a selfish plug, we're all US based. We have text, chat, email, right? So we're always there for you. We have extended tax season hours for you and your firm to be able to call in and ask questions. And we don't send you a bill afterwards for calling us and asking for us to answer your questions. Now, 3 key people, 2 of them already been mentioned. You know this gentleman here, Eric Green, at the top. His famous line from SmartVault and adopting that at his company, right, is that $150,000 per year savings. Dawn Brolin, she loves to be able to have that work anywhere flexibility, doesn't she? Right, on the beach, on the golf course, wherever she's at, if you've ever followed her anywhere. And then Nick Basha, also the balanced CPA, he's coined his phrase, right? He loves to be able to have that work-life balance, and SmartVault's being able to accomplish that in being able to help all of these people that you see here scale their business, add more clients, and work the same, if not less, right, with automation. Now, the last thing I wanted to share here before I pass it on is really we're talking about not just document storage. I think all of the vendors and partners here are really talking about an entire tax prep workflow. And this is how we've distilled it. This is how we see the world into 5 key categories or stages. And actually there's a 6th one. So if you orient your eyes there to the top left corner, you got to start with some sort of like pricing tool. It's going to make sure you're keeping up with the right pricing in the industry and you're not losing money, leaving money on the table for your clients because you're not pricing your services properly. And then it moves through these 5 stages. You're going to engage with new clients. You're going to go through engagement. You're going to collect documents and track and share those with the right permissions. You're going to prep and review with your tax prep software and any kind of integrated tool or solution that you see today or others. And then you're going to deliver those returns. You're going to accept your payments. And this is where all of us kind of work together to build that perfect tech stack for you and your firm. And then last, you've got to archive those and you have to keep those secure. Back in the day, we used to do that in file cabinets, right? But now we can do that in a cloud-based solution that we're all here. With that, let me pass it over to Nick at Forwardly.
Thanks, Ed. All right, so I'm Nick from Forwardly. Like I shared, we are an accounts payable, accounts receivable system that helps businesses to get paid quickly and instantly as well, because we are dependent on a new payment system like FedNow and ITP, so we can get paid you instantly as soon as your client makes a payment. We have automated collection of payments where we get pre-authorization from your clients. And as long as there is a bill, there's an invoice created in QuickBooks or Xero, where we seamlessly sync with them. We sync with other systems as well, like online, QuickBooks Online and Xero and FreshBooks and Zoho. And as soon as the invoice is created there, we can collect those payments automatically for you. You can also create invoices and bills in Forwardly as well. On the payable side, you can pay your suppliers, vendors, and contractors. We have streamlined workflows. We have full approval process with the roles and permissions, so that you can decide who is going to approve those marketing invoice, so that the invoice goes to the marketing department before it gets paid. So you can roll it out for your clients and have access to your team. You can invite as many team members as you want. There's no monthly fee. We charge per transaction. Anytime there's a transaction, we have very reasonable fee that we charge based on per transaction. We have automated the whole process so that you can reduce your time that you spend on the bill payment and dump all those spreadsheets where you have to open 2-3 spreadsheets and log into multiple bank accounts to pay just one bill. We are eliminating all those things to make sure, you are paying those vendors on time and anytime, 7 days a week. Next slide. Yeah. All right. And we are a Forwardly one unified platform that does all the heavy lifting for you. So it starts with the data collection, your bill collection. We provide a dedicated email address to everyone. All the invoices that comes to that email address, we read that and we use AI and machine learning and LLM models. New one, we code it, we categorize it, we make sure the data sync to your accounting system, and we take you through the approval process so that every bill is getting approved before it gets paid. And you can pay your bills through ACH or card, whatever the option for you option you want to use. You can also ask your client to pay the bills, pay the transaction fee as well, because we have this automation built in. So you can, when you use the technology, you can pay 10 times more bill in the same time at a fraction of the cost, almost 1/4 of the cost. And we have seen many of our clients, they do take early payment discount, advantage of the early payment discounts, like a 210 net 30, where you get 2% discount if you pay your bill in 10 days instead of 30 days. The businesses who are using this kind of digital platform, they are 7 times more likely to take advantage of these kind of early payment discounts. Okay? And once you have a platform that does automation for you, that takes care of your bill payment or invoice collection on a time, you can cut on the late payment penalties or fee that might be imposed by your supplier. Okay? Reduce all those errors and making sure all the information is there visible to you and your team member as well as your suppliers, so that no one is calling you, okay, where is my bill payment? Okay, and you don't need to say, the check is in the email. Okay, it's going to arrive in a week or so. And it's streamline all your operations so that you're not spending time fielding calls from your suppliers or tracking those payments. Where is that payment? And for sure, the platform, because we are an AR and AP platform, we give you the good cash flow visibility on the cash coming in, cash going out. So that allow you to look at the data holistically and provide cash flow advisory services to your clients as well. Yeah? And as we know, cash flow is king. Cash is king, and 90 or 82% of businesses fail due to cash flow problems. And our platform helps you, helping your clients so that they don't fail because of the cash flow problems. So come and check us out, please.
Yeah. All right. Nick, before I hand off, interesting question from Najiri. I have implementation issues dealing with clients who don't want to use technology. So I'm going to give you, Najiri, I'm sorry, let me put my camera back on. I'm going to give you my sense how we've dealt with this. Now, on the IRS rep side, we ask clients to scan and upload their documents into our SmartVault folder. We have our template folder that you can go and you can ask, and they will make those available to you at no cost if you're using SmartVault. So what do you do with the clients that don't want to do this? Well, I don't want to do this. Here's what they're really saying, and this is my take on it, and I'm happy for any of the other panelists to jump in. The way I read this is, I don't feel like changing, and so I'm going to make this your problem, all right? And I'm going to mail it to you or drop it off or whatever else. So what we actually tell clients who do that or want to do that, look, that's fine, but we need the scanned copy because more and more, everything's got to be uploaded. The IRS is using portals. I just had an IRS auditor tell me they will not take FedEx documents, don't send them. They'll literally return them. They insist on having it electronically because on their end, someone would have to sit and scan all that crap. And nobody wants to do it, and the government doesn't want to do it. Well, guess what? Neither do we. So here's what we will, Maggie, my assistant, will tell people. Look, if you're going to drop documents, because of the way the IRS works, everything's got to be scanned and backed up. So either you can do it or we'll do it, but just so you understand, we're $150 an hour, 2-hour minimum, if my staff are going to sit there pulling staples out of shit and scanning all kinds of different shaped documents. So just understand, we'll send you a link, pay the extra $300, and we will take care of that for you. We have found almost to a person, they'll say, oh, you know what? I'll go to Staples. I'll take care of it myself, because we're not Kinkos here. All right. My staff don't sit around all day, as your waiting to do your copying for you. All right. They're actually supposed to be doing billable work. So if you're going to make us do that, we're going to bill. It's billable work. And so I have found that has taken care of it. So on your side, on like the tax practice side, I would suggest you explain this in the letter, that because of the way the government works, audits where everything's got to be electronically backed up. Plus data security, your cyber security policy probably requires it. Okay. So I would explain all that and say, if you don't scan, okay, there's going to be an additional fee. And put it on them. And you know what? Either you're going to make money with your staff copying stuff, or you're going to get your clients to do it. All right. Anyway, I apologize. Let's get on to GruntWorx here in the automation. I think you're muted. All right. Is Brian muted? Yeah, well, we heard Brian before. I wonder where. know what, Brian, maybe just X out and log back in and see if it improves, see if it fixes it. All right, while Brian's doing that, there are a bunch of questions in here about automating certain aspects. You can absolutely do that. All right. For instance, I didn't enroll all this into my practice at once. It was done very piecemeal. As I recall, I think I started using SmartVault first because Don Brolin, who I do a lot of work with, was using SmartVault, and it made a lot more sense for me on our cases together to do that. All right. I then later found Ignition in terms of engagement letters and the follow-up. Brian, back.
Hey, here. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Excellent.
Okay.
All right. I don't have to tap dance anymore. Brian, take it away.
All right. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Well, thanks, guys. We'll jump in. Intelligent automation with GruntWorx. That's going to free up a ton of time for you and your typical workflow for your 1040 clientele. So what are we doing here at GruntWorx? We talk about our benefits we provide here. We use technology to extract data from your federal forms to have that information imported into your tax software. We also have a verified service that we offer here that utilizes the human staffers on top of our data extraction technology, really keeping that human in the loop for that high level of accuracy that you would expect having like another data admin in the office. Now, if you imagine your tax prep workflow and kind of consider the time that you're taking during each of those steps, I like pie charts. So if you imagine like using the processes as a chunk of the pie, a slice of pie. If you see me do this, I mean pie by that. But, document gathering, organization, data entry, that's a huge piece of the pie. E-filing, all that kind of a smaller piece of the pie. But imagine if you give that away and you lose the biggest slices of the pie. Your day is gone. With those processes out, you're going to see your workflow pick up some serious speed. And we get this one a lot, the freeze up staff. A lot of people say, well, that's Becky's job, or, Jared really handles all of that stuff. And that's great. That's really great. But what if Becky and Jared had less of those manual tasks on their plate and they were freed up to do different stuff? Because Becky and Jared are smart. They're capable. They can do much more than the data entry and the organizing documents. They can be given more important staff. Then everyone's focusing on the more billable work, kind of like Eric was talking about, and there's less of the clickers like Heather said earlier. And then, of course, happy clients. When you have more time to devote to your clientele, they're going to feel that connection, the importance. They're going to love it. You're going to build them right back up and even get more on top of them. These are some of the biggest pain points we kind of see across the board using our typical like manual tax workflow, grinding out a return piece by piece, page by page on the left side. Data entry fatigue, everybody's just keying the same manual monotonous process, high error risk, a lot of typos. You're going to make mistakes when you're tired, slow turnaround, multiple handoffs and delays in the client delivery, staff burnout. They want to go home. They've been there 14 hours. Everybody wants to go home. It's a long day. And your clients are going to get frustrated when they see that frustration from you as well, of course. Moving over to the benefits of GruntWorx, and we talked about each one of these, but it's you scan once, data flows into your software. Very pretty, very fun. Verified accuracy, cross-check before importing into the software. So extra eyes on things to see for that level of accuracy. Faster processing, more returns completed in less time. Yes, that's what we want. We want more time back on the clock. Everybody's going to get focused on the higher value client work, making that more billable work. And then happy clients, happy office. Everybody's going to have a good day then when you're using those automation services. All right, my last slide here. Our little GruntWorx process is designed to fit easily into your workflow. Left to right, a client brings their documentation to you, whether it's in paper format or from a tunnel or like Lisio. You scan in your paper documents if you receive those physically, or you upload the already sent in PDFs over to GruntWorx for your client. Our technology quickly goes through its process, and then our GruntWorx US-based staff reviews that scanned data. We then send you back your client's documents into a single bookmarked PDF in the order of the 1040, nice and pretty. Even if they were submitted to us upside down and backwards and in the same kind of mess that you received them in, they're organized now, nice and pretty. From there, our Populate product is going to pull federal form data onto an Excel spreadsheet, basically. And that's form by form, field by field. It's going to import into your client's return in your tax software. And you lose all that manual data entry for each client submitted. So this is a ton of time savings, right? And don't forget, we also offer, you see down there, it says includes detail or summarized trades. We offer a little trades product for those 1099Bs and consolidated 1099 brokerage statements to list. And that's either stock transactions in detail, one by one, line by line, all the way down, or the summary totals from those same forms and statements, if that's more your preference in the office. But either choice is yours to make, to have that info imported into your 8949, giving you another piece of the pie gone. And that's really what we want here, because again, the systems that you're all seeing today and hearing from everybody like GruntWorx, they are solutions for your success. Okay, yeah. Now I think I'm passing off to, I want to say, Jesse at Ignition.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome. So, thanks, guys.
Hey, everyone. Again, my name is Jesse here from the Key Account Management team at Ignition. So I'll definitely keep this quick and to the point because I know your time is valuable. But here at Ignition, what we do is we help firms automate their engagement and payment process through a digital proposal so that you can essentially stop chasing clients for signatures and overdue invoices and start getting paid on time for the work that you do. So you can see that we eliminate AR by helping firms get paid first for the work that they're doing, as well as automate that proposal and billing process so that you guys can really maximize revenue and increase your efficiency. So next slide. So from our research, 94% of firms are saying that they're regularly chasing clients for late payments, which is just a huge number. When you factor in scope creep to that, the average firm is potentially losing around $76,000 in a year in unbilled work. So on top of that, if you layer in manual proposals, chasing customers for invoicing and admin tasks, your team could really be wasting up to 40 days a year just trying to stay on top of it all. So now imagine what you can kind of do in your firm with all that time back and $76,000 still in your business. And that is really where Ignition comes in. So we streamline your client engagement process and automate that payment collection process up front, helping you set really clear expectations around scope and billing timelines with your customers right from the very beginning. So this means less confusion for your clients, fewer follow-ups with questions about your engagements, and of course, no more surprise invoices for you or your clients. Now, in the next slide here, we believe in eliminating AR through that intelligent automation, really allowing for a clear understanding of the scope of work being provided and when billing is going to take place. So not only do customers really appreciate kind of that transparency, but you're able to really maximize your revenue, increase your efficiency, and eliminate AR, even when the scope of work changes. And that's one of the areas that Ignition really kind of excels at. We have bulk engagement and renewal tools that allows you to easily engage up to thousands of clients with just a click of a button. But we also have change in scope workflows. We all know that clients tend to kind of push the boundaries of agreed work year over year. That's really what's contributing to that $76,000 in unbilled revenue. So having these sort of change in scope workflows built into the platform allows you to stay very transparent with your customers so they know exactly the work that you are being tasked with and they should be provided. So on the next slide, I just wanted to kind of highlight that through our partnership with Eric and the team at TM, will have access to some pre-built templates that we have within the platform that allow you to get up and running with Ignition very quickly. My team is here to help onboard and help with that change management component as well, which we all know is difficult. But heading into this time of year, we hope that if you do have any questions or you want to learn more about Ignition, that you'll reach out to me or definitely help. I will pass it over to Chris with Liscio.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So Liscio. Liscio means, loosely translated, smooth in Italian. And what we do is we have an all-in-one client portal. So if you have clients who are sending things, we talked about paper, for example, earlier. If you have clients who are sending you photos of things, random scans, image files, or if you need to get things signed, such as an engagement letter or an 8879 or anything like that, if those items and all the client communication is getting spread across multiple email accounts and multiple places in the company, we bring it all back in together. And so imagine having everything in one place and what you can do if it's all automated there. So what I'm going to show you today are some new automations that we're rolling out to 1,000 firms right now. And if you wanted to be part of this, I'm going to put something in the sticky message on top for a waitlist form. But I'm going to show you today how, if you had everything in one place, what you could do with it to really help automate the things that don't add a lot of value, but can keep you at work late. So for example, this is one of our newest features, which is intelligent message composition. So we have a secure messaging assistant. So as you know, we're not supposed to be sending things over email that have PII and so forth. So what if you get everything in through a secure channel, and that secure channel could look across the context of the conversation and make recommendations in terms of replies. So in this case, in this example, this is a real example. I can say, move our meeting to Wednesday. When you click on that, we'll generate a reply for you. And we know the context is that you have a meeting scheduled with them on Tuesday, because that's stated earlier in a message. Go ahead and read that in and then compose the message for you. Okay. And what's great about this is it learns your voice, it learns your tone, your brevity, the words you use, et cetera, over time. So it's going to get more and more tuned to exactly how you write. Okay. So pretty amazing stuff. And if you're spending a lot of time managing email, it's an absolute no-brainer. Building on that, imagine all the files you get. So when you get something that comes in, let's say that's a file, we're going to atomically understand what's in the file. So in this case, the client sends you a pay stub detail from the University of New Mexico. We'll go ahead and we'll help you rename it. It might come in with a scan and then a bunch of numbers after it. This is something that you or your staff will have to literally manually rename every time something like this comes in. Of course, we have a phone scanner as well that works on an Apple and Android phones. And so it's going to do that even when it comes to us first. But we're going to read it and we're going to start to understand how you like to name your files. And we're going to suggest names for you. It can be like client name, underscore, month, year, etc. We'll help you build that. And then we'll also help you tag it. And these tags will live behind the scenes largely. So when you want to go search for this later, we're going to help you on that as well. So auto renaming files and then helping tag them. When we do that, you get another benefit. And this is a benefit that goes to the client and to you as a firm, which is the client is now going to be able to come in and say, show me my last year tax return. So instead of calling the firm, right, calling you, asking for your time to redo something, they can use natural language and get the result of what they're looking for, because we understand the documents at that atomic level, if you will. So super easy. And the last piece here is when you want to gather something, we've had personalized tax organizers for quite some time. So if we can ask, for example, for the 1099 INT from CIT Bank, from Wells, et cetera. We know that because we can read it from your tax systems organizer. When the file comes in, we can help you automatically match that file that this client sent, rename it, tag it, and then pair it with this line item with no additional work from your client, just an auto tag, right? An auto match. We can also detect whether or not the file has been uploaded more than once and so forth. All of these are essentially items that would take you and your team time administratively to do that don't add any value. So this is a lot of new features we're seeing, all powered by AI. And if you want to join the waitlist, for example, and just try our file intelligence, we're starting out with all the file handling for just $20 a month, no minimum or anything like that. So the world is changing. I think there's a lot here if you're having these kinds of problems, and we'd welcome talking to you. And with that, let me pass it over to Heather.
Thanks so much, Chris. So, oh my gosh, such amazing tools. All of these tools are just such big time savers for your firm. So where does Woodard fit in? Because we're not a software developer. We are an organization that supports accounting professionals. So what we do is we can help you put it all together. So we work with firms to help them identify, what the current state of their practice, and then where they can go to actually implement this type of technology to have a streamlined practice. So we help you put it all together. We do consulting. So if we have several different models of this, we can actually go in and actually consult you and walk you through an implementation of updating your tech stack. We also offer coaching through our membership program. We offer education through our membership program and through our conference, Scaling New Heights, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment, and then also through our community. So we have a community of almost 400 professionals in Woodard that really collaborate every day, talking about the things that are working for them, the things that maybe they may be struggling with, through our roundtables and our other opportunities for them to come together. And all of this is kind of guided by what we call our ideal practice model. If you can go to the next slide, please. And our ideal practice model is a 7-tier model that we developed that we think drives a successful firm. And so it starts with, who are you? What is the firm? What is your, vision, mission, purpose of your firm? Who are you looking to serve? Identifying the ideal services. So the services that you're looking to offer, where you bring extreme value to the community and to your clients. We dip into ideal technology, which we're talking about today. The ideal engagements. How do you want to work with your clients? Do you have the appropriate engagement letters and the master services agreements to protect your firm and protect your clients during your engagements? The ideal team. So is it just you, or you're a solo practitioner, or are you looking to grow? And as you grow, who do you need to hire in order to have the ideal firm? Right. And then finally, ideal processes. So what are your processes? How do you streamline the processes? This goes hand in hand with the ideal technology. You need to have your processes defined with those outcomes before you choose the technology. And then also our ideal clients. Who do you want to work with? Who are you going to bring the most value to in the market? So that is really what drives what we do at Woodard, through our coaching, our consulting, and our community. So next slide, please. And Eric already touched on this, as he attends Scaling New Heights and teaches at Scaling New Heights pretty much every year on tax representation and other tax topics. And I think all of the solutions that are here on this call today are exhibitors at Scaling New Heights as well. So we have over 2,000 attendees every year. Our conference is in Orlando each year. It includes many of the leading accountants, bookkeepers, and tax professionals like Eric, like Don Brolin, and many others that you probably have listened to on a webinar or live. We also have the largest technology showcase. And as I mentioned, featuring all of these solutions that are on this call today. And then we also, what really sets us apart from other conferences that you can attend is, rather than just scratching the surface and making you aware of what's out there, we actually offer deep, actionable training. So our 90% of our sessions are either intermediate or advanced level. So you're not just learning about the solution, you're actually learning how to use it and how to implement it in your practice. And then we also have practice and professional development training, leadership training at the conference, and world-class main stage experiences. So this year we have some great main stage presenters. We have Daniel Susskind, who wrote The Future of the Professions and A World Without Work. And then we also have April Ryan, who is going to be talking to us about Flux. She wrote a book called Flux, talking about change management and change leadership within your firm, and actually adapting to the strange new world of AI and technology that we're all facing. Next slide, please. And then finally, just to wrap up a little bit about us, we do have the membership program. We call it our Practice Advancement Program. So it gives you access to our full library of courses, which are taught live with other practitioners just like you. And they help you go through each of those 7 ideals that I talked about previously. You also get a registration to the Members Only Woodard Summit, which is an annual retreat that we offer. It's 4 days where we actually help you to develop your strategic plan for the next fiscal year. So you meet with us offsite with coaches at Woodard and fellow accounting professionals to really work through what do you want to accomplish in the next 12 months. It also includes a registration to the Scaling New Heights Conference. We have our weekly interactive roundtables. We have group and or one-on-one coaching, depending on what membership level you choose. All of our coaches at Woodard, including myself, have owned a practice, still own a practice, but are actual accounting professionals that have run a practice. So that we're working with you, really leaning on the expertise that we have experienced and grown over the lifetime of our careers. So when we also have an online on-demand video library for all of our members. So you can learn more about it at woodard.com. We'd love to welcome you. So thank you. And I'm going to hand it back over to you, Eric.
All right. I want to just launch the next poll. Which solution or service are you interested in? Check all that apply. And just for folks, we are going to circulate the Q&A and the poll results to the to the partners who are participating in this, so they can actually reach out to you. If you're interested in talking to them about how to implement this, or have very specific questions about the solution itself. I'll just leave that open for about, again, 30 seconds. Let everyone, get a chance to do that. Robert, I use Tax Act owned by your company. Why don't you support my software? Robert, I'm not really sure which solution who owns Tax Act? Yeah, Robert, I'm sorry, I'm not sure without knowing which solution it is. I'm not sure who you're actually directing it to. Does GruntWorx work with Bitcoin?
Which one?
Does GruntWorx work with Bitcoin? Can you track crypto?
No, not yet. We're still doing we do the stock transactions, 1099Bs, and broker statement. Nothing yet with Bitcoin. We're still hoping that federal form comes out and everybody we can capitalize on that first. But
yeah. It's only a matter of time till there's no more U.S. dollar. It's all Bitcoin.
It's all Bitcoin.
Yeah. So listen, just to wrap up, in terms of putting automation into action, and I have to tell you, I do get this. All right, there's a lot of stuff to overcome. Often it will be your own concerns. Is this going to work? How do I implement this? Again, the reason why we're doing this now is the time to do this. Not at the holidays, not after January 1st, where you're trying to figure it out, because what's going to happen is you throw up your hands at some point and they're like, you know what, I can't do this now. And yet we're going to go another season with accounts receivable, chasing our accounts receivable, doing things inefficiently, all the rest. So one is, I think a lot of the education takes the fear out of it. And so if you have staff who are resistant, I think having them participate in demos and the trials and whatnot, it warms them up. And before you know it, they will begin to see really the benefit of this. Data migration, it's never fun, even under the best of circumstances. But doing this in a time when everything get migrated, they can help you make sure everything is in and everything is working properly. Again, why you don't wait until the very end or right before tax season begins. All right. Talk to them about any compatibility concerns. We saw some questions earlier. All right. Because you really want to sort that out before you go down this path and find out you have an issue and you really had to make a different change. All right. Invest in comprehensive training, right, and continued support. As much as I have to tell you, as much as I love the solutions, because I work very closely with our partners, I get to text message people and say, hey, I'm having an issue. What about this? You want to make sure you've heard many of them have 24, it seems like almost 24/7 support, chat, email. You want to make sure that you can get training and actually have support as you go through this process, because even again, under the best of circumstances, there's going to be some learning curve. All right. You're going to obviously look at the cost. Some people are saying, how can you afford this? I will tell you, with many of these solutions that we have saved so much time in staff time, it has more than paid for the solution. I would almost go as far as to say, I don't think any of the solutions we use cost us anything. All right. To go one step further, my law partner, Jeff, would tell you, if I couldn't explain the ROI on something, he has no interest in it. All right. I mean, we're running a business here, not a charity. So how are we going to make money with this? We're going to close more people because Ignition automatically follows up. We're going to save hours and hours of staff time getting documents back and forth through SmartVault. All right. You're going to automate the organizer, everything scanned in, have a perfect paper trail of what your client gave you. And by the way, talking to the attorney, what they didn't give you when they get the CP 2000 notice, right? With Liscio, that's all going to get automated. GruntWorx is going to take it, cut 65% of our tax rep members' staff time is what they reported to us. Think about last tax season. And now imagine getting 65% of your time back, right? You're going to automate your AR and your AP so it's a non-issue. And again, save hours of not just staff time, your time. And I don't know about you, my time is the most valuable time there is, right? Everything here is going to take care of this, all right? When are you going to make change? The saying goes, you'll make change when the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of change. This is going to make not only your life easier, catch mistakes, automate this, and again, because I have members who we help sell their practice. If you're selling a practice that is inefficient, you're selling a job, and you're going to find that no one's really going to be interested in buying that. If you have something that's pretty much automated that could be done from anywhere remotely, that is a much more valuable business to buy. So this will come back in spades, basically later on, when you can sell an automated practice to another firm or to another person who can just pick it up and run with it, right? Because you put all the pieces in place. Anyone not convinced yet? Anyway, all right, the additional automation resources and a lot of the answers to the questions folks were asking are in the guide, all right? And again, I'm going to circulate the Q&A in the chat here to our partners here so they can also respond to you. I put the link in the chat with the code. Gainer, I believe, also did the same thing. The link and the code are in the chat, but it's also on the slides. You can just scan that. It'll take you out to the website. Use that code at checkout. You can get the guide for free. If you haven't already gotten it, that's how you get it, all right? Get the guide for free. It has obviously more information than we had time for everyone to give you today, but now is the time to do this. And I'm telling you, I guarantee your bottom line and just your stress level, getting your life back, right? This is time well spent. If you have any questions, reach out to any of the partners. You can also reach out to us. I'm happy to, and our team will give you our 2 cents on things, all right? For better or worse, we'll tell you the truth, what we think, all right? But I can tell you, everyone who's here today, we asked to come on because these are people we partner with, all right? So we're very confident in the solutions that we've actually shown you. So with that, actually, there's another poll. Who knew? What is the end goal for automation in your firm? All right. So before you jump off, if you could answer the poll, let me see if there are any other questions. For Ignition, are we required to collect the fees up front? I would think, I don't know that you're required to, but why wouldn't you?
You're not required to, just so you know. But yeah. You can just collect a signature if you'd like, but that's really where the benefit of Ignition comes in, is getting paid up front for the work that you're doing.
And by the way, on that note, Don Brolin and I did a podcast. It's in February. And she actually reports, and you can go watch the podcast. She collected all her money up front, so she actually put it in a money market account and made, I think, around $3,400 of additional interest on the money because she collected it all up front, which she pointed out more than paid for Ignition for the year. So when you start talking about, how much does this stuff cost, take a real global view of this from your business perspective, all right, and figure out how much this is going to save. All right, I'll leave the poll open. Most people seem very heavily weighted toward improving efficiency, increasing productivity, and streamlining existing workflows. You can do all of it. All right. And it looks like we are at time. So guys, before you jump, you will all get a link to the recording so you can watch this again, share it with your team. Please go grab the guide. It is free. Because you joined us here, you can go pay for it too. I'll take your money, but you don't have to, all right? It's free for all of you. Download that, go through that, reach out to any of the partners we have with any particular questions. We will share those of you who asked about a particular solution so they can contact you directly. We're all not going to sit here and spam you, all right? No one has any interest in that. And so with that, guys, thanks for joining us. And thank you, everyone, for coming and presenting and giving us your time. I'm going to have to go through the list here. Heather, Nick, Jesse, losing people because I can't see everyone. Brian, Chris. Did I get everybody? I'm sure I missed somebody. But Gaynor and Clemens who are here helping. Thank you, and thank all of you for joining us. Look for the link later. You can watch this again at your leisure. And everyone have a great rest of your afternoon. Bye-bye.